Hi everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I am here with my page kit number 1 that I created, and I'm actually going to go ahead and make a layout with this. So if you missed that video where I put this page kit together, I will link it down below, but this is the pile of supplies that I put together to make this this layout. And I do have a photo up there at the top. It's a 5x7 photo of my nephew. I believe this may have been like his first official photo. There were some photos of him with my sister and my brother-in-law, my nephew, but I think this is actually his first like individual photo, if I remember correctly. So I wanted to scrapbook it, of course, and so that's why I put this page kit together. So I have a lot of supplies here, and I'm going to go ahead and create this layout, and I will have some supplies at the end which I will share with you. And I had a debate of whether to keep the remaining supplies and try to make another layout with it, or to go ahead and disperse it back into my stash, or what exactly to do with it. So because I'm actually making these page kits specifically for a photo in mind, or with a photo in mind, I decided to go ahead and disperse the remaining supplies back into my stash. Now, if I end up doing a page kit and I have, if it's for a photo that may have been of an event or of a group of photos, I could definitely keep the remaining supplies together and go ahead and create another page kit out of that. But for this particular one, this was the only photo I had to scrapbook of this event that was not already scrapbooked. And so there was really no need for me to have these supplies still together. So I went ahead and put them back into my stash. Now, I want to also go ahead and give you a heads up. If you have noticed, I've been a little bit in and out on my channel here recently, just to, missing a video or two here and there. Well, we are dead center in the middle of moving, and it is quite insane. I probably, if I remember, I'll post a photo of my scrap room on my Facebook group, because right now my scrap room is half filled with boxes, and then the other half are my cubes, like my I don't know if they're recollections, I think they are recollections, cubes, like the, what are they, 13 or 14 by 14 inch white cubes that you stack on top of each other. Those are not actually going to be packed, because I'm literally going to move cube by cube from one house to the next house. It's going to take me absolutely forever to move my scrap room. I think it's probably the most intensive move, or part of the move in our house, because my scrap room, when we moved into where we are now, I did not scrapbook. Well, over the last 7 years, I have collected quite a few things, and so I think that's probably going to be the hardest room to move, because there's just so much. It's so bad that it's more so than the kitchen, and usually I feel like the kitchen is the hardest thing to move. So I don't exactly know when my new scrap room will be up and workable, and we're not even in the new house yet, but we're just preparing to move, and we will be moving, within the next week and a half. So I'm a little overwhelmed, but I'm working with it. So if I only get about 1 or 2 videos up over the next couple weeks, please stick with me, and please know that you guys are on my mind, and I really want to be my new scrap space, but it's just going to take me a minute. And the packing, well, I tried to be organized when I packed, and I really wanted to, pack with the idea that I can just unpack into the new house. But I think what I'm going to have to do is reorganize my scrapbook stuff whenever we move. It had gotten a little bit disorganized here at our current house, so I think it's time to go ahead and rethink how I have things organized, and take the move as an opportunity to go ahead and redo all of that. So, which is going to make it even longer. But I'm really kind of planning on documenting how I unpack and move into a new scrap room. So hopefully I'll have some interesting videos up for you guys. And if I don't get them filmed, then I'll just share my new scrap space with you. But I'm hoping I can find something that's kind of interesting enough to share with you. So anyways, so as you've been watching this layout, I've just kind of got the basis of the layout down, and I've now put down my title, and it's just Hello Baby. Now, my older sister, and I think I mentioned this in the page kit, like the building a kit video, she, when we were younger, collected elephants. And so when I saw that there was this elephant, this dimensional elephant sticker, I knew that it would be a perfect sticker to use on a layout of her son, because of course, she was really big into collecting elephants as kids. So I wanted to put that here on her layout. And then there is also that brad, which is not actually stuck into the background yet, but there's a brad that also has that same elephant. And the brad has the elephant facing the left, and the sticker has the elephant facing the right. So I thought it would be really nice to have them on opposite sides of this layout to where they face into the layout instead of off of the layout. I thought that was kind of weird to have it facing off of the layout. So I pulled out some stamp sets, and there was this one star stamp set that just fit perfectly inside the little star cutout of this cork piece. Now I've backed this cork piece with a piece of the scrap paper that I included in the kit, and then I just stamped right on top of it. I probably should have thought about that before I glued the piece on the back and probably stamped on it before, but luckily that cork piece is very thin, so I didn't have any problem at all stamping inside of it. I'm also kind of stamping this little dotted line, and then I stamped at the top by the title that says "It's a Boy." So I've got stamping in 3 different places on this layout. I kind of go through phases with my stamping, if you guys haven't noticed, where I'll stamp a lot or I won't stamp at all for a while, and then I'll get back into stamping. And the best way that I have found, if you struggle with stamping, the best way that I have found is to always keep my black ink on my desk, which I always do because that's typically what I stamp in, and also keep, anywhere from 1 to 3 stamp sets sitting on my desk so I can always pull them out. Now, I pulled out this one in particular for this page kit, so I knew it was already in here, but that's kind of my little tidbit on stamping. Now my journaling is going to end up down here at the bottom, but I'm trying a whole bunch of different places first. And when I was trying it out, I thought up there by the Hello Baby really didn't look nice, but when I just laid it there, that could have been a really nice option to have the journaling up at the top by my title, but that's okay. It ends up down here, and I'm very happy with the way that it looks. It ends up just kind of layering right on top of that stamping in front of the elephant, which I think looks really nice. And then I have my little right here, right now, Ellie Studio cut apart right beside that. And then I'm also going to put another brad there as well. And the brad that goes down here actually is the exact same pattern as that, what is it? Is it called crosshatch? Kind of grid-like pattern paper that's behind my photo, right under the white border. All right, so I'm just kind of getting those brads. Whenever I put brads in, I always put some washi tape on the back side of it just to keep it from, puncturing whatever's on the opposite side of this page. Typically, not typically, I've never had any problem with things damaging the layouts on the opposite side, but I always cover up the staples and the brads and everything else with some washi tape on the back. So though I've never had a problem, I always protect it, so I don't think I ever would have a problem as long as I'm kind of protecting it. Now, if you remember from my page kit, I wasn't really sure about this cork piece because it's brown, and it is the only brown element that is on my page so far, so I wasn't really sure about including it. But there are a lot of really warm tones in the photo itself, so I thought the brown actually fit nicely, and it gives it a really nice contrast to the white and the blue on the layout already. There was this little die cut that I had pulled out that was a bow, and I really wanted to use it on this layout. I don't know why, but I really felt like I could use it, and I end up not using it, but I do try it in a couple places along the way. So I'm kind of looking at my layout, and I feel like there's a lot on it, but I also feel like it's not very heavily embellished. So I'm actually pulling out these Ellie Studio stars, trying to figure out where I want to put them, and I'm going to put a cluster up here by my title, by the Hello Baby. Now, I don't reinforce it now, but I am going to go back and reinforce it with just some Tombow Mono liquid glue because these puffy stickers have a hard time sticking to that doily, and rightfully so because the doily is kind of a different texture and it just isn't sticking very well. So I pull out 3 different sizes of that real pretty blue color that really works well with my background paper here, and I'm just going to layer up here by the title. Now, I really enjoyed the process of putting this page kit together. I think I mentioned that in my page kit video, but I also really liked kind of the instant gratification part of it to where I made a layout with it. Now, for you guys, there was 2 or 3 weeks in between the videos, but I actually did these fairly close together. So I created the page kit one weekend, And then the next weekend I actually scrapped with it. Now, if I had done some scrapbooking during the week, I probably would have scrapbooked it immediately, but that was a very busy week, as all of my weeks have been here recently. So I didn't get to scrapbook through the week. I really haven't been scrapbooking at all during the week. The only scrapbooking I've been able to get done has really been on the weekend, and it's in the middle of packing boxes. So I get extremely overwhelmed with the packing process. So I can only pack, 4 or 5 boxes at a time before I have to take a break and do something different. So I've kind of been doing scrapbooking in between that. It is kind of helpful that most of my scrapbooking supplies are in my little cubes that I was talking about. And since those are not going to be packed up themselves, I still have all my scrapbooking stuff unpacked. All my other craft stuff and my Etsy shop stuff and all of that stuff has been packed up, and like my albums have all been packed up and everything. But my scrapbooking supplies themselves are actually still accessible. So that's kind of giving me a little bit of an outlet in the midst of moving. And by the way, I very, very much dislike moving. I think it's one of the most painful things ever. And I know that probably sounds ridiculous, but I only move we've been in our current place for almost 8 years now. And before that, we were at the apartment we were at for about 6 years. So I don't move very often. I'm moving about on average once every 7 years or so. And that's kind of, I just get used to the place I'm at, and it's home, and so there's really no need to move. And I hate packing; I can't stand it. But anyways, enough about that. I'm sorry I'm dwelling on the packing thing and the moving process, but that is my life right now. It's been my life for quite some time because we are, as I have mentioned before, we are in the middle of building a home, and so it's been quite a process. It's been about a 12-month process, and it is really intense. And if you've never done it, I enjoy the process, but I'm also so ready for it to be done that it's almost ridiculous. So I'm going to add a little banner down here at the bottom, and it's a glittered banner, and it's glittered on both sides, so the adhesive that I use is really not going to hold it down. So we'll add a few staples down here at the bottom, and then I am actually going to staple my banner down at the very top. Now, the one at the top is on dimensional adhesive. That was from that dimensional sticker sheet that I had. It's the same one that the elephant came from, but I'm just going to staple the corners down where the bows are technically on the banner, and it's just going to kind of add a little bit of something to it. The one down here is really to keep it attached. The one at the top is more just decorative. Now we're nearing the end of this layout, and I've really enjoyed it. So I've got some things in mind for 2018, and I haven't really determined my exact plans yet, but I'm thinking about restarting my kit review series where I get a different kit each month and kind of review it for you. And I did that in 2016 and really enjoyed it. But now I feel like in 2018, I feel like the Kit Club companies have changed enough that it might be worth doing again. Let me know if you guys would find that interesting. And what I try to do in 2016, I tried to do a giveaway each month to kind of coincide with the kit I was reviewing. So I'm considering that again, but let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'm also thinking about doing page kits more consistently, just like this, and then showing what I create with it. So showing the building the page kit process, and then also the creation of the page with that page kit. So I'm thinking about doing that. And then I'm also thinking about maybe doing there's a couple other things in mind. So I'm just going to kind of keep the ideas rolling, but let me know what you guys might be interested in. But these are the supplies that I have left. See, I have quite a few bits of supplies left, and I didn't even use those dies at all. I ended up not needing them, but I really do like them. So I'm going to keep them kind of at the ready just in case, so I can start using them. But I have a lot of stuff left. I ended up adding in that white cardstock at the end of the page kit process because I did not originally add it, but I am glad I did because I did need it to map my photo. And I believe that is everything. I hope you guys have enjoyed this layout, and I will be back soon with something different. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye.